I wanted to talk about some small anecdotes about my grandmother because I think especially for matriarchs, a lot of your identity gets put into being a mother, a grandmother, a wife. And while those are amazing things that we're known for as women, we've done them, not me. You are so much more than just a mother, a wife, a grandmother. You're a whole person on your own with unique quirks, preferences, habits. My grandmother was a very singular woman. If you spent any amount of time with her, you would know that. She was always herself. I think that's what I really take away from my relationship with her, especially now that I'm older. She just was who she was. She was unintentionally funny. She liked what she liked, and you knew what it was because she would ask for it. She disliked what she disliked, and you also knew what it was because she would tell you, stop doing that. And the kids touched on some of the things, croissant, banana, and tea. She would make sure she got fed on a very regular schedule. But she also, another thing about her, she was always there. Again, to talk about matriarchs and patriarchs, matriarchs are more behind the scenes. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're quietly there, tending to their children, asking you what you need, quietly being, hey, is something wrong if you're seem out of sorts. The subtle things that you come to really rely upon or benefit from. I remember she would also, when we were kids, she would, she kept the cabinets stacked with food. Fruitios, fruit snacks, granola bars, brownies, and even when we'd go to our parents and be like, hey, can I have this? And they'd be like, no, no more. She'd be like, why? No, let them have it. And then she would just jump over her kids and be like, just go to the pantry and get it anyways. Just get whatever you want. And so they would just let us run amok over their house, play games like games that I remember that kids playing in my house, making a mess, playing games like war, running through their cupboards and closets, and they just made sure that their home was also our home. Desks for us, toys, anything you want. And she created that environment and sustained that environment for us. And then the other thing I think about being matriarch is just being there is half of it. Showing up. My mama was always there. Throughout my life, from a small child to even now in my 30s, I have lived with her in the same house as her. It's a complicated but beautiful thing to live in a multi-generational house and enjoy that at times. And also, maybe not so much always, but it was always funny and amusing. There was something to say, there was something to talk about. You were really living. You felt really alive when you're all living like that together. And I have one more story because I'm losing my train of thought. And if you don't like this story, laugh anyways. Remember, my grandmother died, so it's funny enough. Again, to her being unintentionally funny, on one of her anniversaries, they got her this beautiful sari, blouse, everything. They did part of the event and they came back to our house, but it wasn't sitting quite right on her body. The blouse was too big for her petite frame. So all the ladies, all her sisters, sister-in-laws, daughters go upstairs, and they're like, what can we do to fix this? Maybe we can change the undergarments, it'll sit better. So someone goes and brings her one, like a more modern undergarment. She takes one look at it and she goes, what am I, a prostitute? Anyways, thank you.
Amy Sinach, are you here? Who's going to give a speech by Freddie Uncle, who sent a speech from India, I believe, all the way to talk about my grandmother.
Thank you. Hi. This eulogy is from Regis Frederick, and without fail, he has supported my parents, and he's been very close to them, so he sent a eulogy that he's asked me to read. This is the second one I'm reading. The first one was when my dad passed away. An aunt who was more like a mom. Sorry, can't see. It was back in 1979, when I was still in college, that I met the great couple, Stephen and Celine Cinnapin, for the first time. Their very first greeting was unique. "You must be Frederick." They said in an affectionate way and gave an instant invitation to come to the U.S. for higher studies. As for their advice, I landed at 8407 Mayhews Landing in August of 1981. The entire family took me as one of their own and helped me settle down in the U.S. When I moved to California for my job in 1983, I got the opportunity to move with Celine Auntie very closely. The first thing I found out was that she was very caring and affectionate. She gave an open invitation to me as well as to my friends to come to her house anytime. She was a great host, and we had so many memorable weekends at her place in Newark. She was very pious, and I still miss the Saturday evenings I spent with her and Uncle at Our Lady of Peace Church. Her house was my home away from home. She was a strong personality with boundless love and care for others. So with a heavy heart, I bid farewell to a wonderful person who touched my life in a special way and made a huge impact in many ways. She treated me like her own son, and I thank God for giving me the opportunity to spend so many precious years with her. Even after I left for India, she used to visit me whenever she came. We're going to miss her smiling face and affectionate greeting that we received whenever Zita and I visited during our trips to USA. Dear Auntie, you have always been very special to my family. You have left a void that cannot be filled. Our heartfelt condolences to all the members of the family for the sudden loss. Our prayers and thoughts are with you at this time of grief. With deep regrets, Regis Frederick. Thank you.
Thank you for reading. Next, we have Karen Auntie. My grandma's uncle, who couldn't be here, unfortunately, because he's not feeling so well, but lovely Karen Auntie will give some thoughts. Karen Auntie.
Well, Tiny already introduced me as to who I am. I'm her brother's wife, and we live in Massachusetts and Florida. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I think I consider myself privileged to be talking on this occasion because not many are going to be speaking. So I consider myself very special. And I thank Stephen family for that. A lot has been said about her kindness, how special she was taking care of her kids, grandkids. And I think it needs to be reiterated over and over again because Uncle had a very good job in India and her children were teenagers, and at that point they made the decision to come to United States, which is not easy because culturally it's hard for the kids in teenage years to move to a place like USA. And I think that they did the best they could, but even the children did the best they could, but I think it took a lot out of the children as well as the parents. And they first came to Chicago, from there on they came to Bay Area and then to Fresno. And she was really the matriarch of the family because not only she raised the children, she helped raise all the grandkids, I think, as far as I know. And I think they owe her a deep debt of gratitude for doing that. She also took care of her sister-in-laws. They came here, and I think they helped them settle here. They helped them get married because they were like 6 sisters, right? 5 or 6 sisters. So it's hard, but they did it with love and affection. Uh, Last few years, I think, have been much more easier. And in fact, I think she came alive more and more as she got older. In the last 3 or 4 years, I saw her more happy, more self-assertive, and she used to go to the daycare, play cards, spend a lot of time with her grandkids. And it was nice to have Ravi Sundari close by so they could take care of her. And up until the end, even after stroke, I think she did very well for a couple of years. And the end came, but it was not, I think it came, she was surrounded by family, love, friends, and she went peacefully. And 83 years is a good life. So I think she really led a very fulfilling life, I would say. Then I think thought of few things. So that's as far as she is concerned. Now, and I think everybody has shared the thoughts on Celine's life. She lived with warmth, joy, and accommodating to the needs of not only her family, but the entire family and close friends. And she helped set up that those care homes. And I think a lot of siblings followed in their footsteps, and they did pretty good. She's no longer here with us, but her love will echo to all the hearts forever. Thanks for the life lessons and infectious laughter. You had unwavering strength in prayers and God Almighty. I would like to share a quote. You were the gift to the heart, a friend to a spirit, and golden thread to the meaning of life. Your love and your legacy will live on forever through your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. We wish you all the happiness. Now, of course, it's slowly getting busier there also up in the heaven. But in a way, I feel it's good that they are all together. And one of these days, I think we will be joining them too. But thanks for her life and the contributions that she made to her family. If it wasn't for her family and Chandra's family, I think none of you would be here. So I think you owe a debt of gratitude to both of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Karanti.
I love you.
I love you too. And then we have Marquisa. Marquisa? Marquisa. No? Or you just need a minute to chew? No? No talking. Okay. Okay, then we are going to me. And mine is slightly a little bit more of a show and tell. Anyways, wait, does she want to go now? Just Marcus.
No, I don't think she wants to go.
Okay. I'm gonna reiterate what everyone's already said, and thank you all for coming here. It has been an immeasurably hard year for my family, and I don't think it would be truthful, honestly, to be at another funeral and not acknowledge that this is the 4th one that we've been at in 8 months. And just in April, I heard Parent Auntie stand up and talk about Simon. We've lost 2 young ones and 2 of the older generation. And Sheena here heard her mom, Estelle Auntie, speak about Kailash. And it's kept going. In March, we had the loss of Mo and Uncle. And Tundra Auntie, Deepak and Anita felt that deeply. And now we're here again, weary, another loss, another reason to gather, but yet not a joyful one. So that's the heavy heart that I know that a lot of us are bringing to this. So something that stuck out to me as I watched our family grieve and go through all of these losses is to see how everyone showed up. And at Simon's celebration of life, I remember seeing Thug Uncle sitting on the couch and broken, and many of us have never seen Thug Uncle broken. And many of us have never seen a lot amongst us broken, and that year has been very revealing, and it has brought us together. And next to Thug Uncle, I saw my grandmother, and she was just sitting next to him, completely silently. She's gripping his hands. And you don't always see that in our family. Such a small, intimate gesture to see the way that she showed her love and care quietly with her presence. And that really stuck out to me. And thinking back, that's also, I'm the 5th or 6th person that's speaking about her, and many people have spoken about how she can be particular, she can be stubborn, she's a woman of all angles. And I have to say, despite giving my grandmother many, many, many things to pray about, I did not see that side of her. So I think I have a unique perspective in getting to speak about something a little different. That moment that I saw her with Thug Uncle is the kind of love that I experienced from her. She wouldn't, as Sabrina said, she wouldn't just pretend you were happy. For better or worse, she was honest, she was candid, and she called it like she saw it. She wouldn't just walk by and pretend not to see your pain. And sometimes we didn't want her to see our pain, but she saw it. And for me, it was really a beautiful thing. So what I'm gonna tell you about is a time that she did that for me. So when I was 19 years old, I went to UCLA for college, and I was having a horrible, horrible, horrible time. Deeply depressed. I would come home every week. I would drive from LA to Fresno, and I would stay for 4 days, and then I would go back. I was miserable. And for me, coming back home to stay that long it's pretty notable. But so she would send me these letters at my dorm in UCLA, and I would get, a regular envelope from her, and I would open it, and she would send, there'd be a greeting card, but hold on, let me grab my props here. She would also send, inside the letter, she would put a little tiny figurine each time. And, it's not necessarily age appropriate for a college-age grandchild, but nonetheless, she would ask me my age almost every time I saw her, and it would always get stuck at like 22, and at some point I'd be like, I'm 35, I'm not 22 anymore, but I'll take it. So she would send, here's one of the things, she would send like a little tiny little dog, or they would be reclining, they would be like this, and she would just put it in the envelope with the greeting card. And so the greeting card, I have about 3 or 4 of these in here. The greeting card would say things like, so, I hear you still don't have any friends. And she wasn't known for attachment, but it was true. I did not, in fact, have any friends. It was so real. But she was the one that
kept writing to me. She was like my one confidant at the time. So, beyond just sending me these reclining little puppies and these wonderfully cute greeting cards, she also sent me, I don't even know where she got this, it's probably kind of a mess right now, but it's this guitar. It's a wooden guitar, and it has little drawers in it. I don't know if she got this at a yard sale or.
It's for the puppies.
It's for the puppies, the guitar. Perhaps so, and I missed that whole thing entirely. I thought it was for me. It has little secret compartments in it, and I guess you could put anything in it, but she put notes in it. So here I was, deeply depressed, actually closer to 22 at that time. And I got this from my grandmother, and I'm so glad I still have it. And I had these notes from her. So what I wanted to tell you, and in fact actually show you, is a little bit of a different side of her. So here's what she had to say for me. Since she's not here, I will share some of the wisdom myself. My dear Tiny, love you very much. Praying and knowing that everything is going to be all right. Today is all we have. Live the moment that we have with peace, joy, love, and with God's blessings. Love you, Mama. My dear child, cast your burden on the Lord. He will sustain you. Are you under a lot of stress or pressure? He will help you carry your problems and stress. Is there anything I can do to ease? Do not hesitate to call me or text. Love you, baby, very much. I know you will do fine with God's help. Love you, Mama. My dear Tiny, love you and think of you a lot. Why all the illnesses and problems frustrating you? Love you. Dear child, turn your illness around. You can do it. Love, Mama. And last but not least, dear Tiny, try to relax more. Try not to do too much which stresses you and shows in your body as illness. We all want to get ahead in life. You are young, full life ahead. Take it easy and live for the moment. We have only the moment. Love you, Mama. So, amongst all the other things that she was, to me, she was safe. She was there for me. She was strong. She grounded me. She saw my pain when I was alone. And the best thing I can hope for is that one day someone feels about me the way that I feel about her. Thank you.
Is yours, Mama? It's all
We're done. Oh, yes. Okay. We're done with all the official eulogies, but if anyone wanted to share memories, we're all very happy to hear from them. So feel free if anyone is anything and wants to.